Hello guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is actually part of a collaboration with my friend Rachel over at 7 and All, and it is sharing some of our favorite Christmas/holiday books. So I'm going to share just a few with you today. There are so many out there and there are so many good ones, but I've picked just a few to share with you guys so I don't overwhelm you with all of the choices. Plus, make sure to check out the playlist down below because there are many other channels participating in this, and it's always awesome to see the different books that people choose and recommend as favorite holiday books. So I first want to start with some easy chapter books. So the reason I say easy is they are pretty quick reads. And the first one is honestly probably one of my favorites during the Christmas season. And that is The Best Christmas Pageant Ever. The Herdman kids in here are some really crazy, wild, bad kids. And they start coming to church. And so it goes on to tell the story of how this family comes to church just for the purpose of getting snacks and things like that. But then in the very end, I won't spoil it if you haven't read it. It's got some funny moments. This was actually, a lot of people do this as a play. And I actually, when I was teaching, directed this as a middle school play, and it's always so much fun as a play. So anyway, but this is a really good one and one that I definitely recommend that is a fun read, but just know that there are some things in here where it makes references to those really bad kids doing things like smoking and stuff like that. So just as a disclaimer there, if that's something you're sensitive to, but again, it does have a gospel focus at the end especially. So the next book is called The Family Under the Bridge. So we actually read this last year and we did not read it during Christmas time. However, it's a wonderful book to read during Christmas time. So this story is beautiful. It's a really good story. So I highly recommend that one. And it's not very long. The next one is it's called Christmas Stories. It is one of the Little House chapter books, not Little House on the Prairie. It's actually adapted from the Little House on the Prairie books. So, but it's all just the Christmas stories from the Little House series. And so it makes for just a fun read, especially for families or little ones who may not quite be ready to start reading the Little House books all the way. But it's a good introduction to Laura and the Ingalls family. So also as a chapter book is, this is actually an Advent story. And there are several in these series. Maybe you've heard of them, maybe you haven't. But this is supposed to be the first one. And basically, I'll just read the back for you again on this one. This journey is divided into short chapters for each day of Advent, giving families the opportunity to create a seasonal tradition of storytelling in their home. 10-year-old Jotham's adventures takes him across Israel as he searches for his family. Though he faces thieves, robbers, and kidnappers, Jotham also encounters friendly wise men, shepherds, and innkeepers until at last he finds his way to his family and the Savior born in Bethlehem. So these books always get rave reviews, and so this is another one that I'm sharing today. The next book I'm sharing with you guys is, of course, the Nutcracker. I particularly like this version of it just because I like the illustrations in it, but it is just the story of the Nutcracker Ballet. My daughter is a ballerina, and this is definitely a favorite of hers. But I just feel like it's one of those traditions each year to read and watch and listen to the music of the Nutcracker. So that's my next pick. I just really love the pictures in this one. I will link this one down below as well because there are several versions of the book, and this is the one I particularly like just because of the illustrations. The next book is so cute, you guys. It's called The Money Will Save. And so basically The dad is supposed to go to the market. He's supposed to get specific things for his wife because she says we need to save money for Christmas. So he goes to market. He does exactly as she says, but as he's leaving, he decides to buy a turkey because he says that they're going to have it for Christmas dinner and think of the money we'll save. That's what he keeps saying. That's the line that's continued throughout the book. And there's all kinds of little things that happen along the way. And every time it's, we'll do this. Think of the money we'll save. Anyway, in the end, you see that the family is truly grateful, even with the tiny bit that they do have. I won't give away the ending on this one either, but this one is really cute. And it's a great connection. My plan is to use this one because our Christmas tree this year, we're actually using like dehydrated oranges as ornaments, just to study like at what points in our history in America, how was Christmas celebrated, and just to kind of dive into the history of that. And so this is one of the books that I'm going to use when we are studying that. It's a great little book, and I really, really, really highly recommend it. It's cute. So I'll link it down below as well. The next book is it's kind of a memoir. It is by one of my favorite children's authors, which is Cynthia Rylant. And so all that to say, this is just basically a memoir of what it was like for her growing up and having Christmas in the country with her grandparents. The next one I'm sharing is called Apple Tree Christmas. And this book is just really sweet. I think I could explain it better if I read the actual summary of the book. So Katrina loved the old apple tree. It stood near their barn for years. The tree provided sweet apples for Mama's pies and apple butter, and its twining vines gave Josie a place to swing and climb. Most importantly, one welcoming branch was Katrina's own spot to sit and sketch to her heart's content. Here, she would daydream of her future as an artist. But just before Christmas, a bitter ice storm takes down the lovely tree along with it. Katrina's special place to draw and create. How can she be an artist without her cherished tree branch? Christmas is surely ruined now. So this book, it does have a surprise ending. So there's, the family loses this tree that's so special to them in so many ways. But there is a great little ending to this. So this is a really sweet book as well. This next one is one I have gotten from our library, The Year of the Perfect Christmas Tree. And we live in East Tennessee, and so anything having to do with growing up in the mountains or anything having to do with the history of Appalachia always grabs my heart. And so this is a story about Christmas in Appalachia. And it's just a beautiful, beautiful story. Beautiful illustrations. It takes place in 1918. The Christmas Ruthie had longed for all her life, and the Christmas she will never forget. This is the year Ruthie's family has the honor of giving Pine Grove its tree. Last spring, before he left for the war, Papa chose the perfect balsam tree from high on a rocky crag. But now, as Christmas draws near, Ruthie and Mama wait impatiently for the Appalachian mountain train to bring Papa home. Soon, it's Christmas Eve, and Papa is not home, and Ruthie and Mama can think of only seeing Papa again. But despite that, Papa promised the townsfolk a tree, and now, with Papa or without him, Mama will see that this word is kept. So it's a beautiful, beautiful story. As I showed you, the illustrations are gorgeous. And again, it takes place in Appalachia, you guys. It pulls at my heartstrings every time. So those are the books that I have to recommend for you guys today. There are so many good books out there. So go check out the other videos in this playlist. I hope that this was helpful for you guys. If you guys have a favorite book for Christmas, leave it down in the comments below. I'd love to hear those as well. Thank you so much, guys, and have a blessed day.